What is up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to my first trading related video on this channel. I have like 1,000 or something subscribers on this channel from like older videos, but this is the first ever trading related video, which is going to be a trade recap of how I made about 1.4k today on my funded account, trading NQ on the 15-second chart. And for those who do not know, I trade ICT concepts. So I'll be going into basically a top-down analysis of what I was thinking going into the day, why I took the trade, what I learned, all that jazz, and hopefully it helps someone, as well as this is more so a personal journal of mine to keep myself accountable when it comes to trading. But yeah, here is the top-down analysis. So going into the day, I start usually with the weekly chart. There wasn't too much data to go off besides we had this bullish order block here, and the high of it had just been swept. So I was just keeping that in the back of my head. And we also have these relative equal lows here on the weekly and this untapped weekly fair value gap that we could potentially draw towards here in maybe the next couple days or even over the next week. I don't know why TradingView is lagging too, so I apologize if that's kind of messing with you. But yeah, so going on to the daily, we have a little bit more data here. So we have this daily BISI that got inversed. And then we are also at the time of open, because I'm filming this a few hours after, at the time of open, we were trading beneath CE 50% of this BISI. So I was already just leaning more bearish because of that. And we had been selling off the past few days. Now on the 4 hour here, I'm going to use replay mode so it can be a bit more accurate in terms of what I was looking at open. We had these relative equal lows down here. And you can see structure's been pretty bearish over the past few days. I did like these highs as a potential draw on liquidity in the future, but just not yet, because I think we still have more room to the downside. So I was looking at this low here and possibly these lows. These lows were like 200 points, 250 points away almost, a bit more. So I wasn't too sure if it was too probable that price was going to reach for that if we were to sell off during the session. I think that might have been demanding a tad bit too much. So I thought this was a good low-hanging fruit draw on liquidity for today. So I was really leaning bearish, as you can see, but I didn't mind if maybe at open, let's say we had no buy side taken and we just dump to sell side. Maybe I could consider a long, but I preferably want to participate in a short down to here because I think that's higher probability. So yeah, going on to the hourly, really not much anything different besides from we were retracing back into this hourly SIBI here. One thing to note too is we were technically pretty low in discount here, but I didn't really care for that. I don't mind shorting a discount if the draw is clear and there's no reason to go higher. In this case, there's no reason to go higher because we're in a sell model and there's no need for too much deep retracements. And yeah, so going into the open, and that was basically my higher time frame analysis, right? That was mainly based off the 4 hour and the 1 hour. The daily and the weekly was essentially something as a point of reference, but we had these equal lows on the 4 hour. We've been bearish over the last few days, and we were retracing back into this hourly fair value gap that was bearish. So I want to see us reject from there. So if I go ahead and mark out the open here at 9:30, let's see, I'm going to turn off replay mode. Okay, here's 9:30. Okay, it's bugging out. Boom. Okay, there's 9:30. So at 9:30, what ends up happening is we do climb up a bit before the opening bell, about 2 minutes, and then at the open, we wake up and we take out some minor buy side here, and we also put in this SMT with ES. So ES took out this high, NQ did not. And then we were also retracing back into this 15-minute CISD that was inside of that hourly SIBI. So at this point, I was like, okay, if we're really bearish here, I can see us not really going any higher to take out buy side, and we can just respect this bearish PD array and just continue lower, which obviously did happen. But I still had my doubts because it's a really shallow dig in a buy side at open, so I wasn't sure if this was just market open volatility, just wanting to stop everyone out before making the actual move. So I wanted to be a little bit more patient before trying to find a short entry. So at 9:30, we had this, after we take out that buy side, put in that SMT, put in this 1 minute SIBI, and then Price drops a little lower, puts in the first presented fair value gap. It's really small. You can see it right down here. It's about 4 points. Oh no, there's another volume imbalance here. Okay, it's about 6 points or so then. Put in the first presented fair value gap, and then we end up running through it. I'm not concerned about this at all. This doesn't change the bias because we're just running through this to retrace back to this 1 minute SIBI. You can see that we get in the SIBI, we get that institutional order flow entry drill, that IO Fed right there, and we get that drop lower, and then this becomes a reclaimed first presented fair value gap. Once this happened here, and I saw that rejection, I zoomed in here onto the 15-second chart, and I took this inversion because everything I needed to see already happened. So we took value side at open. We manipulated everyone up here. We got that drop lower. We shifted structure. Let me go on the 1 minute. We shifted structure, and then we opened up this fair value gap. So there's your 2022 model. And then we get that IO Fed, which basically confirms that we are going to go lower. Price doesn't need a return of 50% because we just want to go lower. So that's all I need to see. 15-second. We get this turtle soup. After turtle soup, inverse fair value gap. And then I enter basically at CE. I got really lucky with the fill because the 15-second just moves really fast. I was originally sizing for a 30-point stop because this was the candle close right here. But I was calculating basically how many contracts I was going to take. And then I went to CE and I got a really good fill at CE. I don't think it was exactly at CE. I think it was a little lower. I think 7.7. I got a fill at like 7.7. And then obviously my target was that relative equal low, which is this line here that you see marked out. We chop around a bit. I wanted to see us just stay inside this and not go above it. You can see the wicks go above it, but it doesn't matter. The bodies tell a story. Never close above it. And then we get that drop lower, and then we end up taking out, I believe, this level of sell side or this level of sell side. Here, let me see. Yeah, we took out one of the low-hanging fruit targets before the objective, and that's when I scaled out of the position for like 1.36R. Yeah, so that makes sense because I'm up about 1.38K on my funded. And yeah, that's about where I scaled out. Okay. So I scaled it there. The reason why I didn't really hold for any longer targets is based on my data with my model, I have about a 70s to like 80% win rate, depending on how good the month is. And the average risk to reward is like 1.4. So that was enough for me, right? I'm fine with that. Fine with the low-hanging fruit target done for the day. And also, I just didn't really have much conviction to really hold on to it. I had conviction in the target, I didn't have conviction that I would get to the target without it stopping me at a break even because of how choppy this price action was. So I just scaled out all there. So yeah, entered here at 9:35 and got out 9:41. So about a 6-minute trade for $1,500 about, which is amazing. And yeah, that's the trade recap for today. I'm going to be posting these more often. I'm going to be posting every single loss as well. And just keep it fully transparent. And this is going to be more of like a personal journal for me. So yeah, that's the trade recap. Hope you guys learned something. And I will see you guys in the next trade recap.